Sales are important in any business, but cost control can be even more important. It is tragic to think of how much waste there is in the restaurant industry. The sad thing is that most of it can be controlled by a few simple measures which most restaurateurs don't know, don't put in the time, or simply too lazy to do. Simply have a checklist in place to ensure that you're another statistic. Let's go through menu planning. Most restaurants design menus around what they think is good. Sounds logical, doesn't it? You may want to have a menu which has got all the dishes you think will work for your market if you've done the research properly. Bear in mind what worked in one area may not work in another. The art of good menu planning is designing one around your existing kitchen and the skill level of your existing staff. Most menus seem to be too big and complex. It is no coincidence that the most profitable restaurants have smaller, more simple menus. Buying process. Do you have a purchase specifications on your ingredients? You watch your food costs. Buying season. There is nothing wrong, and it is highly unlikely a customer will complain if you substitute peas for beans or one fish for another when the purchase price is much cheaper and in season. Sounds logical, but most restaurants don't want to change, take the risk, and just simply don't do this. Standard recipes. Consistency is a secret. You've noticed KFC, mcDonald's, all the other food chains don't look or taste much different, whether it be in Paris, or New York, or Sydney, or London. This formula has been successful for many years and instrumental into their growth. Lucky? Maybe. Staff training. Make sure you keep all your employees' skill levels up. This works well with the points above. Don't forget to get your serving staff to taste at least a few of the dishes. For example, most customers ask for recommendations, or many do. You'll be surprised at how many restaurant owners don't spare the expense of getting the staff to try parts or all of the menu. Upselling. Are you training your staff to upsell? This is one of the easiest methods of increasing revenue, and it's a matter of getting your staff to ask, do you want fries with that? Simple as that. Or dessert. The old days of the dessert trolley coming out. Very hard to resist, aren't they? Why don't you try it? Storage and stock control. Keep as much as you need. You might have a bad week or two. Things change quickly, lockdowns or whatever. Do regular stock takes. Know what food costs are. Act quickly when you see something unusual. Measure your advertising. A lot of restaurateurs just basically just taking potluck, a few booths, maybe adding a local paper, buying some space in a website. Simple as that. What is your return from your advertising spent? You don't know? You're not alone. Most restaurants can tell you how much they paid for a kilo or pound of carrots. They cannot give you a figure for the return on advertising spent. Most just randomly advertise and hope for the best. Work out how much it is costing you. For example, if you're spending $1 and making $3 profit, good investment. Keep going. Increase your spend. For every dollar, you're making $3. So increase your sales that way. Sounds simple. No one bothers to work it out, or very few bother to work it out. Not in the restaurant business anyway. Design workflow of the premises. How do you minimize the movement of staff to serve your customers? Having to climb up 10 steps throughout a shift adds up and slows things down. Is there a way to get around this? Think. Design. Maybe make a renovation. Work out the system. Work out the flow of your customers and your staff. How can they interact with the staff and from the kitchen to the dining room, the bar area, etc. How much revenue are you getting for every square meter, yard of your premises? For example, if you're making more money from the bar or a barbecue area or another outlet, consider the cost of changing the sizes, making the bar smaller or larger, barbecue area larger or smaller. Prioritize functionality with good design, having a good lease. Are you paying a fair market rent? Is your lease long enough? Does the premises give you enough room to grow? Most restaurants sell it 2 to 3 years. Basically, the lease has to be long enough for you to build up the business and attract enough for a new owner to come over and take over from you. So you're looking at, a new owner being there for 6 years at least, generally. So they've got time to sell up when they have 2 to 3 years as well. Who wants to pay a premium price for your restaurant when there's only 1 or 2 years left on the lease, even though you've spent good money setting it up? You're at the mercy of the landlord. Another way is to get a specialist who understands the whole process, set up to growing and developing an exit plan well before you have to move on to help you with it. It's a final bottom line that counts. Think of these measures. Control your costs. Have you increase your revenue. Watch your restaurant bottom line increase. Sounds simple, but like I mentioned before, very few restaurants do all these. Watch that dollar. Maximize your return. That's the important thing. I'd like to hear your comments.